The battle was fierce. The fight was real. The Hawks had the heart, the will, the steel. Blows were traded. The game was tight, but small mistakes would block the light. Shot clock dwindles, chances fade, opportunities lost, a price they paid. Tonight the Knicks brought their best, no doubt. But this is the story of a team that truly beat themselves. Welcome back to Hawks Digest, everyone. I am Chris Tipmore. Happy to see every last one of you again. Take off your shoes, leave on your socks. We're about to dive into post-game Hawks versus Knicks, round 4. Yes, sir. But before we do that, I got to give you guys some love because, hey, man, if you're a part of that 13.3%, we are in motion at Hawks Digest, and we humbly appreciate you guys for coming through, making us one of your first listens when you need Hawks content and you want the Hawks news, you want the scoop. You come right on over here to Hawks Digest. We appreciate you. The 86% that is still skeptical, I promise you that you'll be doing yourself a good service if you come on over to Hawks Digest and be a part of the Hawks Digest family. Me and Walter Pollard, we are doing our thing, and it's all because of you guys. Without you guys, we are nothing. So we thank you humbly over here at Hawks Digest. Again, man, post-game, y'all, let me know what your thoughts in the comments. Please, you know what I'm saying, be free about it. Today we was playing the New York Knickerbockers, round 4 again, and you really wanted to get this win. Again, coming into the game, the Knicks, last time we played them, we was on a 3-game win streak, and the Knicks were able to take away our 3-game win streak, and then we would go slipping and sliding down the slopes because we would be on a 7-game losing streak after losing to the Knickerbockers. Tonight, it started off real slow for the Atlanta Hawks. And there are no moral victories, I get it. There are no moral victories. But I'm going to try to see if I can, for the fans that are still optimistic and for the fans who even believe that we didn't play anybody, I'm going to try to cater to both sides. Now, the Hawks started off this game in traditional Hawks fashion. Pretty slow, right? 36% from the field, first quarter, missing a lot around the rim. It was very uncharacteristic to seeing the Hawks just miss so many. You've seen Trae miss some, Dyson miss a layup, Okongwu missing putbacks. It was a point in time in the first half to where you seen the Hawks had 6 offensive rebounds because everyone was missing. That was just very uncharacteristic for the Atlanta Hawks. It played a part in the first half just being what I would call dismal. Very dismal first half. First quarter, first half completely. You're giving up 68 points. That's pretty high, even though you're on the road regardless. By the way, this was the Hawks' 31st road game, the most in the NBA. Take that in consideration and perspective. But in this game, man, again, the Hawks really did themselves a service at the end of the half. When we was able to go on that run, the Hawks were able to go on a 12-2 run to end this first half to keep them in it. The Hawks were being very scrappy, man. It was a collaborative effort. I'm going to get into individual performances in a second here, but I got to talk about the Atlanta Hawks and their fight, even though when you look at it, the Hawks, you know what I'm saying, like they played a decent game overall. They hung around. You look at the turnover margin, you thought it was going to be a crazy turnover night. I know I did at first because it was just too much happening for the Atlanta Hawks. Too many turnovers. The Atlanta Hawks, they had a total of 12 turnovers in the game. But the way that the game was starting off, it seemed like it was like, come on. I already know a lot of people was yelling at the TV at Trae. I was looking at Trae, even like, come on, man, let's get into the game. Hawks would win the points in the paint battle, though, 78-72, even though they missed a lot around the rim. So, like, take that in perspective as well. The Hawks could have had more points. I believe the Hawks, again, missed out on the opportunity in this game to really just seize an opportunity for a 4-game win streak. They beat themselves in a lot of different aspects, and I will continue. Again, points off turnovers, you still was able to win that battle because that was 30-18 in favor of our ATL Hawks. Um, Battling back from a big lead. They was down 18 points at one point in time, continuously to battle, continuously to battle. The Knicks tried everything they could in this game to pull away from the Atlanta Hawks, and the Atlanta Hawks just was like, nada, we're not going to have that. Hawks were able to get out in pace in this particular game too, because you look at the fast break points was in favor by a nice margin, 24-11 in favor of our ATL Hawks. So the Hawks did a lot of good things, but it was just little minor mistakes, little things here and there that would really hinder the Atlanta Hawks in this game right here. Foul trouble, again missing around the rim, turnovers, but the turnovers again they were big, but they wasn't the telltale in this game at all. Like not as much as I thought they were going to be, because again we only had 12. Now Trae, I understand he had quite a bit tonight. He had 8 tonight, honestly. And like I said, I'm going to get to individual performances in a second here, but I got to backtrack just a little bit, start giving everybody their credit where it's due. And I'm going to start with Georges Niang. I'm going to start with Georges Niang, man. Okay, so first and foremost, before I get to Niang, I got to build the story just a little bit, okay? So, mind you, the Hawks were down, okay? It was 10 seconds left. The Knicks had a 6-point lead with 10 seconds left. And then the Hawks were able to score and tie the game. Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, Georges Niang, Dyson Daniels with a key steal. I'm talking about, and he was just being that great barrier thief at key moments tonight. I understand what happened at the end of the game, which I'll get to that too. But to go to overtime, to be down the way you were 10 seconds, and to be able to really score, you was able to get free throw. You was able to, first of all, you was able to get a 3 from this gentleman, Georges Niang. Georges Niang, he was big in this game right here, man. I got to give him his flowers. Georges Niang, 33 minutes, 50% from the field, 40% from 3. Gosh, you wish you just could have been 50%. But at the end of the day, off the bench, man, huge bench points for the Atlanta Hawks. He was big off the bench. 21 points for Georges Niang. Also playing some defense, giving you some assists. Gave you 3 assists. Gave you 4 rebounds. And he played some defense as well. Key defensive play, knocking the ball out of the hands of Precious Achiuwa. And just being just a focal point. Being able to be that sniper, man. Georges Niang, he was able to knock down a few key 3-pointers. Yes, he missed some. He was 4 of 10. But the ones that he hit was big. You just hate that at the end of the game, Georges Niang was he just came up just short, y'all. It was just short. We had the New York Knicks, by the cojones. We had them. We was right there. You really feel like the Hawks let them off the hook. But we battled. At the end of the day, we battled. The Knicks were worried. Those Knicks fans were sweating bullets. Georges Niang makes that shot. Guess what? The Hawks win the game. Regardless, we had the opportunity to win the game, and a shooter had the ball. That's all you really can ask for at the end of the game. Now, backing up, before Niang even took the shot, Trey Young on the drive, Mikal Bridges, hey, he did his job. He locked Trey up on that one. And Onyeka Okongwu was able to get the rebound, get the ball to Georges Niang for an open shot. Hey, that's all you can ask for, guys. That's all you can ask for is an opportunity. So, Georges Niang, hey, man, I salute to you. You just wish that you were 5 for 10 instead of 4 for 10, but you can't jump on him too bad. He had a great game off the bench, gave you very quality minutes for our Atlanta Hawks. I really do see the motion for Georges Niang to be a focal point moving forward for our Atlanta Hawks, man. Shout out to George. Now, let me go to my guy Moji. I ain't gonna lie, I'm still on your bandwagon, Moji. But today was a terrible game for Moji on the offensive end. He still battled on the defensive end for you. He gave you 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Also only gave you 2 points. Again, and those 2 points were from the foul line. So he gave you 0 from the field, 0 for 6, 0 from the 3-point line, even airballing a few of them. They were bad too because it looked like they were from the corner, so it kind of looked even worse. Moji again, first bad game. Don't want to jump on the young fella too much. He's working his way in. Everybody has bad games, okay? Everybody. So I'm not going to jump on his bandwagon too much as far as like, excuse me, I say jumping off his bandwagon. I'm still on Moji. I'm glad Moji is up here getting quality minutes because guess what? We already had other guys that's in our lineup that we drafted that were having tough times. And when I say that, I insert my man Zaccharie Risacher, who I'm glad he at least got a little bit more run, but let's just be honest. He got more run because it was overtime. But Zaccharie Risacher was 6 for 11, another 54.6 game, another 50% from the field, from the 3, should I say, excuse me. 2 of 4 from the 3-point line, so 50% from the 3-point line, 54.5% from the field, 6 or 11. Okay, didn't want to confuse anyone. 16 points for Zaccharie Risacher, 2 rebounds for this young man. Got you an assist, got you a steal, got you a block. Played quality minutes. I feel like he played quality minutes. Again, I really hate the leash that we have on Zaccharie Risacher. Again, I know Wemby, he had to go through the same thing, but it's really bad. I really hate it sometimes when Zach gets going, or it seems like he's in the flow of the game, and then we got to snatch him out. I really hate that, but it is what it is. So I believe that moving forward, at least next season, if it doesn't happen for this season, at least next season we can look at it and be like, okay, well, Zach, he still played quality minutes. His minutes are going to go up, so we've got something to look forward to. But Zach, another game in double digits, another 16-point game. You take that, and he likes playing against the Knicks, I think, too, man. I think he missed that last game, and if we could give him some more quality minutes, it'd be great. But great game for Zaccharie Risacher, and remember, we was on his case before, so again, that's why I say don't just jump on Moji too much, because everyone has bad games. Everyone. Next guy I have to move on to is Onyeka Okongwu, man. Hey, say what you want about Onyeka Okongwu, but real quick, we have been a better defensive team overall since Onyeka Okongwu has been in the starting lineup. I know it hasn't resulted in a lot of wins. It really hasn't. It really hasn't. But at the same time, he's giving you quality minutes. He gave you quality minutes tonight. The man was almost 100% from the field. He was 9 of 10 in 40 minutes, by the way. The only shot he missed was from the 3-point line. Okay, now Onyeka, the thing that I'm on Onyeka about is, my goodness, those free throws. Onyeka Okongwu was 3 of 8 from the foul line. The Hawks were 24 of 35 total from the foul line. That's 68.8%. No, that just cannot happen. Look at all those points that were left on the board, and look at the ending of the game. 149 to 148. Man, if you just make some free throws. If you make some free throws, guys. If you make more around the rim, guys. The Atlanta Hawks are on a 4-game win streak. I don't care what the Knicks did at the end of the game with Jalen Brunson. And I give Jalen Brunson his credit because he started out on fire. 16 points, to start the game. The man, well, I think with a shift for him when he started was able to get back to scoring. was when Dyson Daniels went out of the game. Terance Mann had to come in, and then it was some switching going on around, and Jalen Brunson took advantage of it. By the time Dyson Daniels came back in, I really believe that Brunson was already on a heater, and it was tough to stop him. But Onyeka Okongwu, this story is about him because at the end of the day, Onyeka Okongwu still gave you 21 points and 14 rebounds tonight. So he did his job as well. 5 assists. He even got you some assists and got you 2 steals, 3 blocks. At the end of the day, win or lose, you take those stats from somebody who's 6'8". You know, Cat had a big game tonight. Cat had back-to-back 40-point games. Jalen Brunson had 36. Right? But at the end of the day, they still only won by 1 point, and the Hawks left plenty of points on the board. So they gave us everything that we had, and we still let them off the hook. It's almost like Dennis Green, the old football coach. They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook. Next, I want to go to a guy that I just mentioned. A little graphic. Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels had a decent game tonight. Offensively, he was great. 5 fouls, so he did not foul out. Dyson Daniels had key, critical steals at the end of the game. It's crazy because he was able to get more steals even with 5 fouls, and he was able to get not only over his season average of 3 steals a game, the man was also able to get 4 steals, and he has the most games with 4 steals or more this season, being the leader in steals that he is, being the great barrier thief, and he's still giving you points. 23 points. He was one of my X factors tonight, along with Zaccharie Risacher, who gave you 16 and gave you 50% from the field and from 3. Dyson Daniels was another one of my X factors, and he gave you 23 points, 4 steals, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Come on now. 10 for 15. That's 66% from the field. 2 of 3 from the 3-point line. That's 66.7% from 3. This is coming from a guy who everybody was saying, oh, he just stands in the corner. He doesn't score anything. Only 4 points per game. I don't even care about none of that because at the end of the day, he's producing. Talk to me about what he's doing in the production level on both ends of the floor. There's a lot of times you're not even in the game if he doesn't make the plays that he's making. Come on now. Dyson Daniels was definitely on one tonight. Got to get into my next X Factor, who honestly was very quiet. Terance Mann. Terance Mann was very quiet tonight. You can say this is his worst game as a Hawk. Came off of a perfect game the night before. Then next thing you know here, he's dropping 1 point. He had 4 fouls again, trying to stay with Bronson, trying to stay with other guys as well, and got himself into foul trouble too. I honestly believe that tonight Jalen Brunson was able to take advantage of different mismatches, and when Terance Mann was out there more so than Dyson Daniels, I think that's when he really gained his rhythm to score those extra 20 points. I know some came from the foul line as well too, but yeah, Terance Mann was very quiet tonight. He was 0 for tonight as well in 16 minutes, and he only played 16 minutes because other guys were being focal points tonight, were being contributing in the offensive end, so as well the defensive end. So tonight was one of those nice, off night for Terance Mann. Not even mad at it. Again, he was 0 for 4. He didn't take any 3-point attempts, and he was 50% from the foul line. Again, Hawks 24 of 35 from the foul line. That's 11 points that the Hawks left on the board just at the foul line. So that's tough right there, guys. That's tough to win games when you just leaving 11 points out there and you lose by 1. Oh, boy, that's tough. But yeah, again, Terance Mann, off night tonight for him. Can't really jump on him too bad, though. He's just getting here. I want to move on to my next guy. And then I'm going to get into my player of the game. Okay, so Ice Trae Young. Trae started off this game absolutely terrible, okay? Turnovers. And the end of the first half, he was like 2 of 11 from the field. Just decision making, shot selection overall in this game was questionable. I will say that, questionable. But take this with a grain of salt. Trae Young started off the game 2 of 11, right? And even though he finished the game 11 of 29, which is only a merely 37.9%, and being 4 of 11 from the 3-point line, which is 36.4%, he still was able to hit 12 out of 14 free throws, 19 assists, 38 points. Yeah, even with those 8 turnovers that he had, again, I've jumped on Trae about those high turnover games. Again, we cannot have them. I mean, maybe a turnover or less, maybe things happen. But again, grain of salt. Even though he was 11 for 29, at the end of the day, in the second half, he was 50%. He was 9 of 18 in the second half. So, without him in the second half, Hawks are not in this game. He hit a lot of big shots. He made a lot of big plays. He set guys up to make play, to score, to feed the ball. It was good ball movement around as well. So the Atlanta Hawks, they were able to still give themselves plenty of opportunities because of Trae Young in that second half. Absolutely, you know what I'm saying, dominated these guys, the Knicks, 43-28 in assists. You know, we also, of course, won the rebounding battle. Some people would say, hey, we got those 6 rebounds on that offensive, and it kind of ballooned it a little bit, but we still took care of business on that end as well. The Hawks just resilient and fighting, and Trae Young in this game, you just want him to cut down the turnovers. He started off the game, the first half was terrible. Shot selection, turnovers, missing around the rim. It was just everything that could have went wrong in that first half really did. But the Hawks were able to weather the storm. Third quarter, that used to be death quarter, is actually turning into a strength for the Atlanta Hawks when they're on their comeback trail, or if they're trying to, if they're in a tight game and they're trying to increase a lead, everything like that. The third quarter is slightly starting to become more of a strength for the Atlanta Hawks. And the second half, man, you can't really just count these Hawks out of it at the end of the day. No moral victories at all. You want that dub. No doubt about it. You want that dub. But you can't just jump on the Hawks too bad, because they could have got blown out in this game. And that's the trajectory we was headed beforehand. Last guy I got to get into, and this is my player of the game, actually. Caris LeVert, man. Being able to create his own shot, being able to handle the ball, take guys off the dribble, get to the rack, play defense, hit timely shots. You know, even though he missed those 2 free throws that, I'm not going to lie to you, I was like this. I was like, no, LeVert, no, you having such a great game and you missed both of the free throws. Again, Atlanta Hawks was 24 for 35. It just, I keep hammering that in because that's 11 points you left on the court. And you cannot do that against a team like the Knicks. I mean, I badmouth them. I talk smack about them. At the end of the day, they are the 3rd seed. They are a good team, okay? You can't give them opportunities. They guys having like Cat having a big game. And their X factor for me was Precious Achiuwa. Precious Achiuwa had so many points where I'm just like, bro, why in the world is this man scoring? And Precious Achiuwa dropped 26 points on us. 8 rebounds. Come on now. Like, he was 12 for 16. That's 75% from the field. Precious Achiuwa, outside of Onyeka Okongwu, had the highest percentage on the field, from the field tonight. So, hey, man, Precious Achiuwa was definitely their X factor. And this guy, He wasn't an X factor for me, but I knew he could be a focal point in this game, and he was absolutely in the second quarter and part of the third quarter as well. Really, the entire game. Without Caris LeVert and his effort, the Hawks are not in this game while Trae Young was still trying to warm up. 35 minutes from LeVert off the bench, 8 for 13, 61%, 50% from three, hitting some big shots. Come on now. Now again, you wish he had those free throws back. Again, that was just the telltale of the game though. But he did give you 20 and 10. He gave you 20 and 10. Said before, we sent 2 guys out in Bogey and Dre Hunter. We brought 3 guys in that I believe can make up those 32 points that we lost. And I'm really being generous because Bogey only averaged about 9 points. So I really want to say about an even 30 points that they can make up in 2-3 games. These guys have been doing that. Yes, Terance Mann had a bad game tonight, but he gave you 12 points in the last game. Niang gave you 16 in his first game, gave you 21 tonight. Caris LeVert, back-to-back games, with high numbers, 20 and 18. Last time I checked and last time I counted, those points are getting made up. We just have to have better execution, better shot selection, cut down on the turnovers, cut down on missing around the rim, which is something everybody just about did. So that's on everybody. Free throws, just about everybody missed a free throw, except for George Niang, and that was it. Everyone missed at least one free throw tonight that took some. Onyeka Okongwu missed 5. Trae missed 2. LeVert missed 2. Terance Mann, he was 1 for 2. Dyson Daniels, he was 1 for 2. The only guys who were perfect, Risacher, 2 for 2. Moji, 2 for 2. So again, this is the story of a team that, hey, the Knicks brought it, but they really beat themselves. And as before I get ready to get out of here, Clint Capela should be back for the Atlanta Hawks after the All-Star break. And that's a guy that I feel like we missed in this game too, just having that size and that length to go against, Precious Achiuwa, possibly, Cat, give other guys, a little breather in that aspect. You missed him in that regard. Also, you missed Larry Nance. You missed his shooting. You missed Vik Krejci. You missed his length and him just being out there to possibly help facilitate the offense and, keep things going. I'm pretty sure he would have got some wide open shots tonight if he was able to play. But they were not there. And the guys who were there, they did step up. Hawks lose this one in the highest NBA scoring game of this year so far. Hawks lose this one. We go into the All-Star break on the losing end. But I'm ready to see what the Hawks are going to do and if they can bounce back after this loss to the New York Knicks, because you remember what happened last time. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys are still with me, I humbly thank you so much. I really just had to dive in just a little bit deeper into this game, and I really had some more to say. But until next time, thank you all for subscribing. Thank you all for tuning in. This show is nothing without you guys, because this is your show, Hawks Digest. I am Chris Tipmore. Peace and blessings to you all. Let's bounce back after the All-Star break. I'll see you guys after the All-Star game.